Focus Delaware tonight takes you to the Flight Deck restaurant located on the Market Street Mall in downtown Wilmington to meet internationally acclaimed jazz and classical guitarist Charlie Byrd. Charlie, it's a pleasure to have you on Focus Delaware.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Charlie, you've done it all. You've entertained crowds throughout the world. You have over 50 albums to your credit. You've been on numerous TV shows. You've entertained audiences through 5 decades. Is there any personal goal that you have not yet achieved?
Well, I wouldn't put it in terms of a goal. I would like to do everything that I do a little bit better, and I'd like to have a little higher fee so I could play a little bit less and still support myself in the style to which I've become accustomed.
Charlie, you're a master of both classical and jazz guitar. You'll play both Bach and blues in the same set, yet you don't believe that jazz and classical elements ought to be synthesized. Why is that?
That's just my personal thing. That isn't to say that I don't enjoy hearing other people, like Gunther Schuller and people like that, who have classicalized jazz and jazzed classical music. I think it can be done if it's done carefully. It's just that it's not ground I wish to plow myself.
You know, you're a classical guitarist, of course, and you've studied with Andrea Segovia in Italy and many other classical guitarists. Does your classical style, is it a pristine style, or does some of Charlie Byrd work its way into it?
Well, I try to play as much what the composer intended and the style of the times that the music's composed and all of those considerations as I can. I don't consciously put myself into it because I feel like there'll always be some of me there anyway. You know, I don't have to work at that.
You know, we were talking before the show, and you indicated that your jazz style is an evolutionary matter. Is there a Charlie Byrd jazz style per se?
Well, I think I play recognizable, and you know, my wife and children can recognize when they hear me on the radio. But I've never been conscious of trying to make a style. You know, my style is the cumulative effect of all the time that I've spent playing the guitar, and this is just how it turned out. It's not something that I said, I think I need a style of my own and I'll set out to invent one. It just didn't happen that way.
You know, I remember in 1962, you and saxophonist Stan Getz got together and recorded an album called Jazz Samba, and it's been said that that started the Bossa Nova craze in this country. Is that correct?
Well, that was the first successful recording of the music that Brazilians call the Bossa Nova, which was already sort of an amalgamation of samba and jazz, you know, which the Brazilians had done themselves. So Stan and I we just played what was there.
Now, do you prefer playing small rooms like this, or do you prefer the large concert halls?
I like both. You know, there's certainly something very nice about playing in a good concert hall. You know, the sound is good, the people are there with no distractions, and that's a lot of fun to do. But if you do only that, you miss an intimacy that you get in a club. And also, you usually play concert halls only one night, and then you have to pack up and move on the next day, you know. And I'm here 2 nights, and very often when we play clubs, we play a week, sometimes 2 weeks. And so we get to get a little bit of feel for the place that we happen to be in.
What would you like as your jazz legacy? How would you like people to remember you?
I'll be happy if they remember me, and if they remember that I did it pretty good and with some sincere effort to keep the faith and adhere to the style and be a part of the whole tradition of music. You know, I would like to just fit into the whole fabric of music and in its history and in the way that it's going to unfold. I'd have no ambition to shake it in a whole new direction or anything like that.
Well, thank you very much for being on Focus Delaware. You're a legend in your own time.
Thank you kindly.
We want to thank Wade York and Cheryl Wilson of the Flight Deck Lounge for permitting us to bring you Charlie Byrd, Bob Weiner at the Flight Deck Lounge.
How about a nice round of applause now for one of the world's greatest guitarists, Charlie Byrd.
Thank you very much. That's a song by Charlie Shaver. It's called Undecided. This next tune we're going to do is a George Gershwin piece called How Long Has This Been Going On? this been going on? Now we're going to give you a rather short version of a sort of a country tune called Mama, I'll Be Home Someday.